Hi, everybody. Do you want to incorporate self-care into your daily routine, but you don't think you have the time or the money? That's what today's show is about, because we can do a lot of healthy aging hacks that do not cut into your time or cause you to have to get a second job. So if that interests you, you're in the right place. I'll let you guys start coming on. Hi, everybody. Hello, hello. Today's show is about incorporating self-care into your daily routine that doesn't cost you any more time or money, okay? Because self-care is not for the rich and famous. It's for everybody. It should be available to everybody. So I'm gonna give you a lot of tricks today. I'll let you guys start coming on a little bit. I posted this, I'm having my little mushroom coffee. I posted a post the other day, and this is why I decided to do this live show. Hi, for craft's sake. I posted a video the other day that showed some of my self-care that I do in the morning. And the responses were like, if I only had the money to do that, or she must do that kind of stuff all day long, or gosh, you know, must be nice to have all that time. Somebody just said, oh my gosh, I would love to spend money on self-care. I'm going to show you ways in which you do not need to spend money. And you have to be strategic in how you incorporate those into your daily life. But it does not cost a ton of money. I did not grow up with money, so I'm always trying to give you guys options. Yes, if you got money to burn, there's a lot of self-care out there that you can spend money on, but you don't have to. So that as a 55-year-old gerontologist and healthy aging coach, I posted what I do in a day on a story. I did it on a series of stories, as well as a post that it was like what I do in the day in the morning kind of thing. And the comments were, if I only had the money, you know. So neither of those is true, that you have to be rich or you have to have all the time in the world to be able to do this. Hi, Linda. I'm so glad you're here. Hi, Izzy. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to tell you how we're going to start. I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about how you can incorporate the healthy aging tactics that I coach on this channel, and I coach privately as well to my clients, how you can incorporate those into your daily routine without having to spend extra time, because we all have the same 24 hours in a day. That's all we have. You have the same 24 hours. I have the same 24 hours. How are we going to use them? Hi, everybody. Hello. Happy Saturday. Okay. So you could wake up in the morning. I had a choice, right? I could have woken up this morning. I could have grabbed my phone. I could have scrolled on social media. I could have, you know, dragged myself downstairs and made a cup of coffee and turned on the news, or plopped my ass down and scrolled while I tried to wake up. Does this sound like any of you guys out there? Because it's most of America. That's what most of America does, right? Let me tell you how my morning is different and how I can get out the door with so many different self-care things within an hour. Get out the door. I might be able to beat viewers on here out the door in terms of the amount of time that it takes me with all of the self-care already being done. Somebody just said, redefine what self-care is. We have childcare and elder care, and then in between is self-care. You're in the sandwich generation. If you're taking care of children and elderly parents at the same time, this has not really been happening in the past, because people used to have kids much younger. They're having kids older, and we're living longer. And so there's a sandwich generation in which you're taking care of both little kids and older parents. And that is tough. I'm not joking. That is tough. But that said, you still wake up the same way. You still have this process of waking up. And then what are you going to do with those processes? What are you going to do in that time that you have to go grab your coffee or your tea, which we're going to talk about, to go and wake up and start taking your shower and getting dressed and getting ready to go out the door? I do the same thing, but I do it in a very different way. So I'm going to tell you guys how I do that. Don't reach for your phone in the morning. That's the worst thing that you can do, is reach for your phone in the morning. And the reason is because not only are you you started your day in a passive way where you're not controlling the information that's coming to you. You're just scrolling and it's coming at you, right? Instead, step outside. The first thing when you wake up, step outside, put your eyes in the light. We're talking about that low level light. If you guys missed that Instagram live I did on how to get your best night's sleep ever, it's in my highlighted reels. All the live shows are in the highlighted reels. But step outside first thing in the morning. Get the low level diffuse UV rays on the bottom receptors of your eyes, and you can blink. You can be brewing your coffee, although I would suggest withholding that for a little bit. But the first thing that you should do, instead of scrolling on your phone, get your butt outside. A window doesn't work unless you've got the window wide open and the sun is coming in, but it doesn't work the same when it's coming through glass. So the best bet, first thing in the morning, the sun is low on the horizon, get outside. That doesn't cost any money. It doesn't cost any money, but there's a lot of benefits. So natural light in the morning, aim for about 10 minutes. There's a ton of research on the health benefits of this. Breath work is great too, along with nature. Yes, and that's part of nostalgic underscore. That's what I was going to talk about. We're great at multitasking, right? When it comes to watching a TV show and eating a donut. We're not great at multitasking when it comes to doing things for ourselves in terms of our health. So yes, that is a great way to start your morning. Step outside for 10 minutes, put the coffee on or put the tea kettle on. I have an Instant Pot, so it doesn't have the whistle, right? It'll shut off when it boils. But I put the tea kettle on, I step outside, for 10 minutes, I've got that light, diffuse UV light on the bottom of my eyes. What that does is it inhibits the production of melatonin. So all of that sleep hormone that you've had all night that kept you asleep, UV rays in the bottom of your eyes early in the morning helps stop the production of melatonin. That in turn helps you get tired way earlier at night. So much earlier than what you normally would get tired. Try just that part. If you want a place to start, try just that part. Morning, don't get on your phone. Go outside. If you could, go outside barefoot. And I'll talk about that a little bit later as well in terms of grounding. I've done a lot of content on grounding and how good that is. But you could step outside barefoot if that's available to you. I have a grounding mattress on my bed as well. So I'm multitasking as I'm sleeping. I'm decreasing cortisol levels and inflammation in the body as I'm grounding while I'm sleeping. Okay, so that's taking it to a next level, but that costs about $60 on Amazon. To step outside barefoot on the grass or sand or dirt or rock or ocean, that's free. Combine that with the low level light on the eyes. You're going to sleep much better at night, okay? So the diffuse UV rays on the low horizon are absorbed in the lower portion of the eye, which I talked about. It blocks the production of melatonin, our sleep hormone. It helps to solidify that sleep-wake cycle, which I talked about. Hi, Young Goose. Oh my gosh, you guys have got to check out Young Goose skincare. Next level skincare. Okay, but now we're talking about free tips that have to do with self-care. And these are all going to be free, or I'm going to show you a way to incorporate them into your lifestyle through choices that you're going to make that can make them cost effective or pay for themselves. Okay, so first thing in the morning, stop scrolling. Don't even pick up your phone. Go turn on the coffee, go put on your tea kettle, step outside, preferably barefoot. Get the light, the UV diffuse light in the lower part of your eyes. It's going to solidify that sleep-wake cycle. And then what we're going to do is, you don't want a hat, you don't want sunglasses, you can't do it through the window. You need to get outdoors, okay? You don't need sunscreen that early in the morning, and it's only for 10 minutes. Psychologically, what does this do for us? It helps give us a sense of control over our day, which is about to begin. And that, my friends, will change your whole day and your whole mindset of self-care. Start off early. If you procrastinate your self-care to the end of the day, it's like pushing off that workout towards evening. If you do that, how many roadblocks could potentially come up that would stop you from getting that workout in? I'm tired. I had a bad day at work. I have to go home and do something. Something just came up. If you get the shit done early in the morning, the calm before the storm. Yes, the calm before the storm. Before the world hits you, even social media, before the world hits you, take control of that world, right? Choose wisely how you start your day, because it does set the tone for self-care throughout the day. So no phone, get outside at least 10 minutes. Then what I do is psychologically, I just want to tell you about psychologically what this does. Like I said, it helps you be the driver of that day. So it's super, super important. It sets the whole tone. Once you've got that part down, you've really kind of burned off all of that, stopped the production of the melatonin, right? That sleep hormone. Now, what I would do is I go and run my bath water to the coldest setting, which is between 50 and 60 degrees. You can also do this in a pool. There is no need to spend money on a cold plunge, but there's so much research on the benefits of a cold plunge. And if you can do it early in the morning, so a lot of people say, oh my gosh, I can't afford to go to like a cryogenic therapy and, what am I going to do? Get all this ice and put it in the bathtub? No, your bath water comes out, and you can test it, but your bath water comes out on average somewhere between 50 and 60 degrees. That's the ideal temperature for a cold plunge. If you don't have a bathtub, will a cold shower work? Absolutely. Before I moved into this new house, Jess, my bathtub would take forever to fill up, and it was not comfortable, and it was hard for me to take a bath there. And so what I would do is I would turn the shower on as cold as possible, and like right in the face for half of it. Turn around right on the back of the neck if you don't want to wash your hair. Right on the back of the neck. And literally for 2 minutes, I would sit there and I'd do you have to excuse me, I'm in pajamas today. Why? Because, I don't know, I just wanted to. It's comfy, it's a little bit rainy outside. But when I would take a freezing cold shower, I'm just gonna try to get in frame here. When I would take a freezing cold shower before I started doing the baths, I would do that Wim Hof kind of, that tunnel kind of breathing. It's called tumo breathing, where you're breathing kind of out of a straw, and you could tighten up your core, have the freezing cold water hit you, and until your body starts getting used to it. You want to pass out, obviously. But what that does is it helps to reduce that kind of stress that happens when you're in a freezing cold shower, right? Breathe through it. That also is part of self-care, doing the exhale eccentric breathing. So as we're freezing, we're exhale eccentric, my God, my mouth. While we're freezing, we're doing the tumo breathing, exhale focused breathing. And what that does with the exhale focused breathing is it works on that sympathetic nervous system. That sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight, we're freezing, oh my God. It works on the parasympathetic nervous system, that relax, that rest and digest whole system that we have that reduces the cortisol levels, which is the stress hormone. And so as we're freezing, we're still staying in control of our body and our bodily processes through the fluctuation of the rise and fall of the diaphragm, right? So like I talked about in that live show on how to reduce stress now, breathing is one of the best ways to reduce stress. Why? Because it is that organ which we can control. We can control the diaphragm with an inhale and an exhale. So if you missed the live show that I did on how to reduce stress now, it's a 2-part series. It's in my story highlights. I highly recommend it. I talked about that physiological sigh, right? Which might be good to do right before you step in a meeting, right before you step on an Instagram live. I didn't do that, but but you could. In times of high stress, you do that double inhale and a long exhale. And that is the quickest way known to science to decrease heart rate, decrease your breathing rate, right? And to help to decrease the stress level. So let's just take it back a little bit. We'll recap a little bit. We didn't look at our phones. Free. Actually, that's probably going to be so much better for your health. You don't need to wake up and first just look at your phone. Step outside, 10 minutes, get the light. If I were to add this up, you will see it is less than an hour. And I look like this in less than an hour, having stepped outside for 10 minutes, got the light at the bottom of my eyes, brewed a 32-ounce thing of green tea. That's another, it's a whole other thing. But brewed a 32-ounce thing of green tea because it's polyphenols, because it's anti-cancer. There's so many benefits in terms of green tea. But that is my choice. If your choice is coffee, fine. But try not to drink it yet. Delay that coffee. And if you can delay the caffeine intake by just an hour, maybe even 45 minutes, but by just even, 30 minutes longer than you normally would. Get the light in your eyes first, right? Take a cold plunge first. Again, 50 to 60 degrees is optimal for a cold plunge, and you only need to be in there for 2 to 3 minutes. How many of you go to work? Any recommendations for green tea? Always organic. If you can, always organic, because there's so many pesticides and everything. Pesticides are hormone disruptors. There's a lot of stuff that happens with pesticides. If you think that pesticides don't add to inflammation in your body, which is the root cause of all age-related diseases, it does. So whenever you can, do organic. This is, I do a Reishi. I get it on Amazon. I get like the big boxes of it. It's Reishi Organic Matcha Green. Super greens. That's the one that I like. You guys, it's not a show on ponytails. Somebody write that guy's name down. I have him. I should have blocked him from last time. Okay, so we just got the light in our eyes. I come upstairs. I've got my 32 ounces of green tea that is a brewing. I run the cold on the bathtub to fill that up. I turn on, get this, you guys, the Rockies theme song. And it is 2 minutes and 47 seconds. So for 2 minutes and 47 seconds, however, it's okay, Dickinson. However you get into that cold water, whether it's a pool, whether it's a cold shower, whether it's a bathtub, it's going to help you live longer, and it's going to help you sleep better. You want to do it in the morning, and I'll tell you why. When you step into the freezing cold bathtub or shower, it feels like it would cool your whole system down, right? Because your extremities are cold. But our bodies are always fighting for that balance. It's always fighting for homeostasis. And to do that, it heats the core of our body up. So what does it do? It increases our heart rate. It increases our breathing. It increases our circulation. It lifts our mood. It helps with dopamine levels. It gives you a sense of euphoria. And the best thing about doing it in the morning to start your day, you're only in there for 2 to 3 minutes. So let's just, you're not taking a leisurely 15-minute shower like most people do before they go to work. 2 to 3 minutes. For me, 2 minutes and 47 seconds. That's exactly how long I'm in there. And when I'm in there, I'm doing the Tumo breath. So I'm getting a little bit of my breathing. I'm helping to decrease those cortisol levels, right? I'm getting in tune with my body. I'm present there. It's mindfulness as I'm freezing. But the interesting thing is, by heating up the core, which happens in a cold plunge, I know it's counterintuitive. You freeze the outside, it causes the body close to the heart, all that core, it causes that to heat up. And that burns off all of the rest of the melatonin, all of those sleep hormones, and really kind of solidifies that sleep-wake cycle, because when we wake up in the morning, our core needs to heat up. When we go to sleep at night, our core cools down, and that's what helps us sleep better. That's why at night, which I'm going to get into a little bit later, at night I take a warm bath for about 10 minutes, because by warming the outside, remember our bodies are always looking for homeostasis, so it's working to cool down the core after a warm bath. Not too long. I'm not talking about sitting in a hot sauna for like an hour. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking just a warm bath, a warm shower before bed, not too long. It helps cool down the core, and that helps us sleep better. The counterpart of that is in the morning, you want to heat the core up, and that's going to get you, that sleep-wake cycle is going to be more solidified. It's going to make you more tired later at night. It's going to make you sleep better that same night, okay? So getting in the freezing cold shower, it's 2 minutes for me, 47 seconds. If you want to add on a little bit of a self-care hack while you're filling up the tub, you can dry brush. Honestly, dry brushing on dry skin, helps with lymphatic drainage, right? You're pushing all of, I don't have a dry brush, obviously, in this room, but you're pushing all of that fluid down. I did a whole live show on lymphatic drainage with Leah Levitin. So if you guys missed that live show on lymphatic drainage with that guest, who was amazing, by the way, that's also in my story highlights under live shows. So make sure you check that out. But dry brushing helps with lymphatic drainage. It exfoliates dead skin. It increases circulation. And so it helps with all of that kind of stuff. So if you do that while your tub is filling out, while your tea is brewing, think about what you're getting done when you're multitasking there and you're doing your breathing. 2 minutes and 47 seconds. That's nothing. That's a blip. That's somebody getting lost in a couple of TikToks. Think about that. You have choices. You have the same 24 hours that I do. And the things that I've told you so far don't cost anything. But will it help with longevity? 100%. Will it help with metabolism? Yes, you don't have to put ice in the tub. Oh, you have to put ice in the tub? Have you tried running it on the coldest setting? I would adjust the heater on your thermostat for your water temperature, because if your temperature is really hot, it can't, if it's adjusted too hot, it can't necessarily get too cold. You can also use a swimming pool. If you've got a swimming pool, a lake, an ocean, doesn't matter. You can use anything like that. Then Carla, if you don't get the 50 to 60 degrees, which I would, listen, all you need to do is be uncomfortable in the cold water up to here, enough to where you want to get out. So if your bath only gets to 60 or 70 degrees, that's still going to be helpful, you guys. It's still going to be helpful. I'm telling you, the ideal temperature is 50 to 60, and that's what usually comes out of a bathtub or a shower on the coldest setting. But if you're, for some reason, you live in the Bahamas or something, and the water just doesn't come out that cold, you just have to be uncomfortable enough where you want to get out. You get the shiver. You want to get out, and you don't. You fight against it, and you stay in for 2 to 3 minutes. That's what warms the core. That's what helps you get that adrenaline. It helps to burn off all of that melatonin, those sleep hormones. It helps with a lot of different stuff. And my Aura Ring, for those of you who use bio trackers, my Aura Ring tracks my cold plunge as a workout. Think about that for a second. My Aura Ring tracks my cold plunge as a workout, and not a 2 minute and 47 second workout. It tracks it for about a 10-minute workout. Why? Because my body is trying to warm itself up because I have froze the outside. I've gotten the epidermis super cold. So the internal core tries to warm up. Does that make sense, everybody? Is everybody following? Does that make sense? Okay, so listen, I've spent 0 extra time and 0 money at this point, right? Now here's where you have a choice to make. Here's where you have a choice to make. Dry brush is like less than $10. Your heartbeat goes up for sure. And it's not just your heartbeat, it's your breathing, it's your heart rate, It's all of those processes necessary for that homeostasis to get us back to that temperature, right? Your body is working. Somebody just said, "Oh my God, I love your advice." Yay! Welcome to my world. You will see that there's a lot that goes on and a lot I want to teach you. This is what I have found to be the thing that brings me joy in the whole Marie Kondo, I think that was her name, of it all, you know, what brings you joy. This is what brings me joy. When I get somebody to do a little thing, a little life hack that makes you live longer, that helps with metabolic process, that gives you euphoria, that's free. Yeah. Boost metabolism, helps set that circadian rhythm, helps decrease inflammation in the body. So all the itises, arthritis, diverticulitis, all the itises are inflammation. Oh my gosh. If we can connect the dots here, all itises are inflammation, right? Arthritis, gingivitis, that's inflammation of the gums, all the itises. Okay, I gotta block this guy. Okay, so all the itises are inflammation in the body. If cold plunging decreases inflammation of the body, and in addition, inflammation is the root cause of all age-related diseases, which it is. There's inflammation in cardiovascular disease. There's inflammation in dementia and Alzheimer's. There's inflammation in Crohn's. There's inflammation in all different kinds, even in diabetes. So if you can decrease inflammation in your body, joint health, all that stuff, you're going to live a lot longer as well. And you're increasing your metabolic, you're boosting that metabolism, which, as we know, sometimes slows as we age, with hormone fluctuations and all of that stuff. So we just stepped out of a cold plunge. This is where your choice comes in. Because so far, $0, absolutely zero. I step immediately from a cold plunge into a red light therapy treatment. And the reason why is because red light therapy has had so much research on it, not just in terms of beauty. Yes, it's skincare. Yes, it helps with fine lines and wrinkles. Yes, it helps with like skin discoloration and melasma and all of that stuff. Pore size. It's great for your skin, red light therapy. You'll notice a difference in your skin after 30 days of using red light therapy. It's the number one, my number one at-home skincare gadget. And trust me, people, I've got tons and tons of gadgets coming out of like, I got them. I got a lot of stuff. I got a lot of gadgets. And I talk about that too in terms of at-home skincare gadgets. If you want how I fit it all into a month, just DM me the word protocol after this. Oh, my son just jumped on. After you've seen all of oh my God, my boy just distracted me. I love him. Hi, Alec. Okay. I have not seen this protocol that I do that fits in, need a giveaway. It's not giveaway day today. But if you see how I fit in all of my at-home skincare gadgets in a month, just DM me the word protocol and check your junk mail right away, because it does arrive within 5 minutes from Darnell Cox. So that's that. But all of this stuff helps with the skin, right? But red light therapy not only helps with the skin, but it helps with the overall health of the person in there. So I've done so much content on red light therapy. It is, when people ask me, what's the one device that you would suggest if I could only buy one, it would be a red light therapy device. I have the big panels because I do step straight out of a cold plunge into red light therapy treatment. But even using like the big mats or a face mask or anything like that, I'm telling you, you're going to reap the benefits. It was used a lot. And like I said, I've done a lot of content on red light therapy. I know it's real hot right now, but you guys, I've been doing red light therapy for 15 years. I'll be 56 in a couple of weeks, but I've been doing red light therapy for, gosh, I don't even know how long. I'd have to go back and look at the very beginning of my YouTube channel. And when I first started down this road, I was already doing red light therapy and I had the big panels. So, hey, Jean. Gina, my friend, just joined on. But you can, listen, there's good red light therapy devices and there's shitty ones. What I try to do, if you're going to spend the money, don't waste it. Don't waste it. Okay? You don't need 2 microcurrent devices. You don't need 2 radio frequency devices. Make sure that you have the right modality for what you're actually trying to treat. But that said, red light therapy treats just about everything. And it was actually, they did a lot of research on it in space for wound healing. What's the best time to do red light therapy and how long? It depends on the device. So you have to read the instructions on the device. If you go on my Amazon storefront, there's some more affordable options there. That's in my linked tree on my main profile. You just see the little Amazon icon. You can click on that, or you can just DM me red light. I'll send you my top picks. Not here, don't comment here, but also when I put this on my main feed, you could comment red light and that will automatically be sent to you. I'll talk about devices on another day, but I will say this. The device is going to come in, and I've talked about how to do your skincare in less than 30 minutes a day. So we are going to talk about that, but right now I always do red light. Red light is like a daily thing for me, and usually it depends. Sometimes I'm in there for 10 minutes. Sometimes the masks, Gina just said, I'm in my mask right now. Yeah, let me see if I have any. I think I brought them all into the other room. I think I did. I think I brought them all into the other room. I have like a big basket of my red light therapy masks that I do like sometimes when I'm just kind of working in the morning or whatever, even after I've done other stuff, I'll throw on a red light therapy mask. But to step in there and do red light therapy, I mean, there's so many benefits to it. It is fine. It does help with fine lines and wrinkles. It does help with melasma and skin tone and texture. It does decrease inflammation in the body. It does increase circulation, so much so that you can grow hair with red light therapy. So I'm going to follow your protocol. I'll print it. I print everything. I know I'm an analog girl. I don't know why. My age, I'm sure. Which, by the way, I'll be 56 December 10th. It's coming up. I'm going to take a little sip of my mushroom coffee. Okay, so we just did 10 minutes of red light therapy. Then, while I'm doing my red light therapy, I start drinking my 32 ounces of tea. Now, I might have a tiny bit while I'm outside if it's already brewed, or I might have a tiny sip before I jump. Yeah, Skippo, April 10th. Before I jump into the cold plunge, but really, my tea is drank afterwards. So I delay my caffeine intake by about, I want to say at least 30 minutes after I wake up. It's not something that I go to right away because I want my body to naturally, without caffeine, I want my body to naturally wake up. We want to rely on those systems that our bodies are amazing, you guys. We don't need all of the shit that we put in them to wake us up. You just need light. You need cold therapy. Right? You don't want to rely on that cup of joe to like, I can only like get out of bed after I've had like 2 cups of coffee, or I'm not functioning. If you're not functioning, unless you've had 2 cups of coffee, I ask you, when was the last time you stepped outside in the morning and got some light on your eyes? Start doing things more smartly that don't take more time, that is more in tune with how our body is supposed to be working, right? I don't know about I don't think cavemen had coffee to stimulate them. They woke up when the sun came up. Now, I'm not that. I'm an eye shade girl. I'm a blackout girl. But that said, when it is time for me to wake up, it's all light. It's cold. It's like, I delay my caffeine. I want my body to do, your natural cortisol. You want your body. Somebody said, you've got to remember, I wake up at 6:37. It's still dark outside. So I guess as soon as the light, yes, that's right. As soon as the light comes up, if you can watch the sunrise, think about what that does to you psychologically. I used to do this. I lived in Singapore for about 6 years. I know. I grew up on a farm, and at 23, I was living in Singapore. It was like, what happened? It's all a little bit of a blur, but it did happen. But I traveled a lot when I was younger, with my first husband. And that was one of the tricks that I learned in terms of jet lag, If you can watch the sunrise wherever you are in the world, that helps your brain to understand, this is the beginning of the day. And if you can watch the sunset, which changes, all of that changes. If you can watch the sunset wherever you are, thank you so much for that. Great compliment, thank you. If you can watch the sunset wherever you are, that tells your brain it's time to wind down. So the 2 times that I get outside, I get outside multiple times, but the 2 times I make sure I'm outside is first thing in the morning. And if the sun is already up, it doesn't matter. Wherever it is, I face towards the sun, no sunglasses, no sunscreen, nothing like that. But I face towards the sun. Let me get you a little closer. And I blink, blinking's okay. And you let the sunlight hit your eyes. Jump into cold plunge. Bring my tea along. Step in a red light therapy. While I'm stepping in the red light therapy, I'm drinking my 32 ounces of green tea. And sometimes while I'm doing that, I'm putting on my skincare while I'm in front of a red light therapy panel. Skin does not stop here, you guys. Your skin is your whole body. If you're not putting stuff on your skin, your whole body, in terms of treatment of things, what you're going to end up with is crepey, very thin skin that when you brush against it when you're older, if you guys have parents like this whose skin has become crepey, when you brush against it when you're older, you get those marks, you get the bleeding. That's thin skin from a loss of collagen. That's thin skin from a loss of collagen. So all of this stuff is super important. When you're in when I'm in the red light therapy thing, I'm doing multiple things all the time. And it's only about setting that intention and understanding why you're doing it. If you understand why you are doing something, you're more likely to incorporate it into an everyday thing. I'm going to repeat that. If you understand the why, you're going to do the how. You're going to do the how. If you understand the why. You ever had like supplements that you're like, I don't even remember why I'm taking this, but I'm taking it. I'm just going to take it. And then pretty soon you stop taking it because you forget, like, why am I taking these in the first place? If you understand the why, how the body works, how is this going to help me? How is morning light going to help me sleep better later on? How is a cold plunge going to help my metabolism? If you understand the why, you're more likely to incorporate it. Okay, so now we've delayed our caffeine intake. We've done our red light therapy. We're doing our skincare. I did a live show on the ultimate skincare routine, you guys. Somebody said, will you do a session on how to take care of your skin on the body? I absolutely will. In fact, I did a live show. I don't think it was a while ago when I was still in the other house. And I don't think I put that in the highlighted reels. I can try to go back and find that and see, but I did a whole live on body treatments, on red light therapy, on microcurrent, on microneedling of the body, on various things. That is alive, but it's been a while, and so I don't mind redoing that again. So look for that in a couple weeks. I'll do another one of those on body treatments. Because somebody says, what do you think about Botox? Thank God I have a really good genetics and I have a good skincare routine, but I started to notice some little lines and wrinkles in the forehead. Is it safe to do Botox? You guys, I'm 56 years old. Do you think I don't do Botox? Like, that's just a given. For me anyways, it's a given because it's preventative. I've been doing Botox since I was, I want to say 35, which isn't too young to start. Maybe a little bit younger. I might have been in early 30s when I started doing Botox. I use it preventatively. So yes, I do all the skincare, but you have those static wrinkles, right? Those that are just like sitting there when you don't smile, when you don't frown, the static ones that are just etched in your skin. Botox does not help with those. Botox helps prevent those. It helps with the dynamic wrinkles, those that happen when you move your skin. For me, I get a lot in my neck because I lift weights. And so these bands become more prominent as you get older. And so to do some Botox around the jaw, I don't want to get off on that subject of Botox too much, but that is, listen, you can have great skincare at an affordable price without having to do any Botox. There's a lot of people that's their path. And good for them. For me, I'm not going to lie to you guys. What's the point in me teaching you what I do if I'm not going to be honest about what I do? That's just, I think that's just not being a good person. That's deceptive. So I do Botox. I've done Botox since I was, like I said, early 30s, preventative, which is why I don't have the big etching. The reason why at 56 years old, I don't have the big etching is, number one, I do microneedling like every 6 weeks around the eyes and my face. And again, it's every Sunday. So if you want the protocol, you just DM me the word protocol. But also, so I do the microneedling, but also preventative. So I do Botox in a preventative way. Okay, so I just want to talk about this for a second. People have asked me, what brand of green tea do you use? And why don't you drink coffee? I do drink coffee. I break my fast most of the time with a mushroom coffee because I want things that are good for my brain after I've just gone through autophagy, which I'm going to get through. But green tea has so many polyphenols. It's a great antioxidant. It improves heart health. It reduces LDL cholesterol, and it's great for your skin. So you do have a choice. I'm not saying coffee isn't also an antioxidant. It is, but most people don't drink black coffee. You put other shit in it, right? Then you're breaking your fast. Skincare. If you missed the Instagram live I did on the ultimate skincare routine, again, that is in my story highlights. I highly suggest you look at that show because there's 3 phases of all great skincare, right? So this is what we're talking about when we're talking about saving money. You wash, don't waste your money on face wash. It literally washes off of your face, right? Just make sure your face is clean. You got everything off. Don't spend a lot of money. I like Physoderm. I like Cetaphil. I like CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser. Just get the stuff off your face. Even in the morning, just a little bit of face wash. I do like the Young Goose, though, one, I have to say. I think it's called Adaptogen Cleanser. I don't know. It's in my thing on my bathtub. We would have to talk about this organic butter in coffee. I don't... that is like a keto trick that is actually not worth the time. Because if your body is in a state of ketosis, your body gets there from deprivation. Deprivation. I don't know where that twang came from. Deprivation, sorry. When you're in a state of ketosis, which is when your body is utilizing fat for fuel, it's in times of deprivation that your body will reach into the fat cells. And we're going to get to that because so far in my morning routine, you have not heard me talk about food at all, right? But in terms of skincare, what I do for a lot of my, I'm going to get to vitamins too. What I do for a lot of my clients with skincare is we'll go through their skincare and I'll tell them, I'm going to save you so much money with this skincare because you gotta at least have a treatment. So wash, treat, protect. Those are the 3 phases of all great skincare, a great skincare routine. What are you treating? We've already determined you don't need to spend money on wash, so save your money there. What are you treating? Are you treating fine lines and wrinkles? Are you treating acne? Are you treating skin discoloration? Are you treating enlarged pores? What are you treating? And make sure that your active ingredient is addressing your concerns. Like I've always said, it's not the time to cheat off your neighbor's paper. Your neighbor's skin is different than yours. It could be a different age, could be dealing with different things. Their diet could be different. There's a lot of different stuff when it comes to skin. Skin is our largest organ. It is our only outward facing organ. It says a lot about our health, you guys. If you think that my skin looks like this from skincare alone, no, that's absolutely impossible. It just is. The health of your skin is really affected by the health of the whole human, the whole body, all of it. So when you're doing your skincare, hi, hey, oh my God, Christina is so fun, yay. I love you so much. When you're doing skincare, it's all your whole body, right? So what active ingredient are you using? For me, morning time is a vitamin C. So while I'm in the red light therapy treatment, sometimes, I'll do my whole body with a little, and it's still like a little bit of moisture on me too. So I don't dry off all the way and then start putting on a vitamin C serum. It will spread a lot easier on your body when you're slightly damp. So I will take some squirts of like a Timeless vitamin C serum and rub that on my whole body while I'm still getting blasted with red light therapy. So I'm getting my body skincare in while it's getting blasted with red light therapy. Remember, red light therapy, you can have on sunscreen. It's still gonna go through it. It doesn't, the level of the wavelength, which is between, oh my God, 630 and 680 really is where the research, they're doing a lot of the research on between 630 and 680 nanometers. That bypasses the epidermis. It goes down into like the level of the dermis where collagen is produced. It doesn't matter what you put on. It's Timeless, the brand, yeah, and it's super affordable. If you want my McFarlane, when we get off of here, check out that Ultimate Skincare Routine Instagram live that I did. I talk about the gadgets. I talk about topical stuff. That's all on that thing. Or you can send me a DM or comment afterwards and say skincare. And then check your junk mail. Please don't DM me saying, I've applied so many times. I've given so many emails and I don't get it. It's automated. It's there. It will be there within 5 minutes in your junk mail from Darnell Cox. Okay, not from Live Young Lifestyle, but it will come from Darnell Cox. Oh my gosh, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Menopause Taylor just jumped on this live show. And if you guys missed the Instagram live that I did with Menopause Taylor, Dr. Barbara Taylor, I beg you, women, if you're over the age of 30, let's say, 35, 30, if you're over the age of 30 and you're on this show right now, again, I'm about to turn 56, watch that live show. It is in my highlighted reels, which brings me to the next thing. That's so coincidental, Dr. Taylor, that you jumped on here at the same time. After my red light therapy, I'm still drinking my 32 ounces of green tea. I've got my skincare on, and then I do my hormones. So when I'm doing my skincare, I'm avoiding just the inner part of my wrists because I do 2 different creams inside my wrist. One is a testosterone, one is a progesterone. And then I do that's not right. I do 2 types of topical hormone replacement therapy. And remember, hormone replacement therapy, it's not our grandmother's hormone replacement therapy. That's not what the new research is saying. The research is saying when you're in estrogen decline, when you're estrogen deficient, that's when all the symptoms are popping up, the night sweats, the brain fog, all of that kind of stuff, the hot flashes, the moodiness, the hair falling out. Welcome to midlife, people. But with all of that, those things, yes, are important, and those symptoms will reduce when you give your body back estrogen, which it's had its whole life. When you give your body back these hormones, testosterone, DHEA, progesterone, when you give your body back those hormones, then those symptoms will kind of alleviate. But more than that, you're protecting your bones and your brain and your heart. When estrogen is in decline, you're way more higher risk, women, of heart attacks. It's the #2 killer of women in the postmenopausal women is heart attacks. And estrogen protects your heart from that. Estrogen protects your heart from dementia and Alzheimer's. Estrogen helps protect your bones from becoming brittle, right? So all of that is so important. So after red light therapy, I've got my skincare on. I've done my creams, which is DHEA and testosterone, which I have as a cream. I do an estrogen drop under the tongue. I do a progesterone drop only at night under the tongue. And so we've just gone through this whole morning in record speed, right? Because I just took a 2-minute and 47 cold plunge. I'm in red light therapy for 10 minutes as I'm multitasking, drinking my 32 ounces of green tea, putting on my vitamin C serum, step out of the red light therapy, hormones go on, clothes go on, right? I've yet to talk about food. Why? You have to go to, somebody just said, where do you get estrogen drops? I really suggest Dr. Barbara Taylor, who was on this live show, look her up on Instagram because she does this thing called Menopause Your Way. Everybody's different. You can't use my hormones. Everybody is different. But every woman, unless you are in this very, very, very small category who is super prone to breast cancer, every woman, when you're in midlife, those hormones decline. It is in your best health interest to be on hormone replacement therapy. Can I start an estrogen at 35? If you're in estrogen decline, again, I urge you to follow Dr. Barbara Taylor. She is in terms of being online. She is at the forefront of all of that stuff. She's been doing it a long time. She's an OBGYN, but she also does private consultations. The best way to do that on a budget, because we are talking about how do you do self-care on a budget. This is not self-care. Hormone replacement therapy is health. That's healthcare. Healthcare. If you are not having a doctor address this and you're in midlife and you're in estrogen decline, change your doctor. This isn't self-care hormones. That's health. That's your health. Okay? Non-negotiable unless, and I say non-negotiable, listen, everybody has their own journey, right? I'm not going to tell you you have to do something. Everybody has your own journey. But when you're guided by misinformation that you're going to get breast cancer if you're on hormone replacement therapy, or that we should just tough it out, or that, this is a normal part of aging, bullshit. I'm sorry. No. Change your doctor. The cheapest way to do that is first ask your OBGYN, go to Dr. Taylor, do a consult, or ask your OBGYN who is in your network a hormone specialist, because your OBGYN might not be the right person to give you hormone replacement therapy. That might not be their specialty. They might be delivering babies all day long and doing pap smears all day long, but that might not be what they specifically went to school for. So ask your OBGYN, do they know of a hormone replacement specialist in network that they could refer you to? If not, call the back of your insurance card. Have your insurance company find you people in your network, because we're doing this on Suzanne Summers. Oh, yes. Suzanne Summers, forefront. Yeah, she knew, didn't she? Between the Thigh Master and her hormones, she knew. Yeah, may she rest in peace. That was a big loss. So that said, if you're looking about hormone replacement therapy, sorry, I was just reading a comment. If you're looking at hormone replacement therapy on a budget, make sure that you stay in network, right? So try to make sure that you can call the back of your insurance, make sure that you're in network and get your hormones replaced. And it's different for everybody. Somebody might have pellets, somebody might have the drops. I used creams for years and just recently switched to the drops, sublingual drops of estrogen and progesterone. So it's all depending on you. But if you are symptomatic, and this is the key, if you're symptomatic, you're not protecting your heart, your brains, and your bones. Because everybody's levels are different. If you have symptoms, brain fog, night sweats, insomnia, weight gain, if you've got the symptoms, your hair falls out, and you're estrogen deficient, add estrogen, right? Find the doctor that's going to do it. Okay. We haven't talked about food yet, and that's because I've been doing intermittent fasting for 30 plus years. Yeah, I'm sure different for men and women too. Yeah, in terms of hormone replacement therapy, yeah, men lose testosterone, but men also have it. We all have the same hormones. We have testosterone during menopause. Our testosterone drops, which is why we could reduce some of our muscle mass, and we can get that sarcopenia where fat starts infiltrating the muscles, makes it really difficult to lose weight after that. So it's all your hormones that shift in midlife. It's all your hormones that shift in midlife, right? So getting those checked, that's not part of self-care. I mean, it is. It really should be part of healthcare. That's part of healthcare. And menopause is having a moment now. Thank God. It is time. It's been a long time coming, trying to recover from an inaccurate study that scared the shit out of doctors from prescribing it. Inaccurate. That's not what the latest, greatest research is showing. It's showing if you're estrogen deficient and you are not susceptible to that really rare breast cancer, then it is better for your health. It is better for your bones. It is better for your brain. It is better for your heart. Okay, that said, we haven't talked about food, and that's because I don't eat in the morning at all. Been doing it for 30 plus years, way before intermittent fasting was like a thing. And that's because of autophagy. There's a number of reasons why I don't, but the main reason is for autophagy. And that's when in times of deprivation, Our body goes into those damaged proteins, picks them apart. This part's rotten, this part's bad, this part's going to cause, oxidative stress. And then it takes the little other parts and makes them to where you've got functioning great protein structures. That only happens in times of deprivation. If you're continually waking up and let me put this in my body and put this in my body and put this in my body, that's going to be running through your bloodstream. So anytime you need to call on your body for energy, you've got it right there. If you don't do that, if you don't wake up and put food in your body, which by the way, we're not designed for that. Our bodies are not designed to have food at the beck and call, right? Pantries and refrigerators and freezers, that's all new stuff in the whole scheme of human life. That's all very new, right? That's getting us away from the processed stuff, the preservatives, the stuff that live on your supermarket shelves. The whole center part of the supermarket, that wasn't there. That's not how our body is made to work. We're supposed to get up, go find something to eat, go hunt it or kill it or pluck it from the earth or pick it. That's how our bodies are made to eat. We're made to go long periods of time without eating. And in doing so, instead of adding the butter to the coffee, whoever commented that earlier, that's adding fat to your coffee. That's not good for your heart. That's not good for your metabolism. That's not good for autophagy. That's not good for anything. I'm sorry. That's not good. That's not good for anything. It's in times of deprivation that your body will reach into its own fat cells for energy. That's keto. That's being in a state of ketosis. It's not from buying some package that says keto coffee or keto butter or keto this. If a diet ends up on a cereal box or a product that has preservatives in it that is being manufactured, you're in the middle of a diet fad. You're in the middle of a diet fad. You got to get that radar up. I don't know. Somebody's making money here. Somebody's going to make money on this keto coffee. Somebody's going to make money. How does your body naturally react to that? It's not by adding fat. By eating fat, we don't burn fat. Excess fat is stored as fat. Excess protein is stored as fat. Excess sugar is stored as fat. It's all stored as fat. So in times of deprivation, to utilize the fat for energy, you want very active fat cells, right? You don't want fat cells just growing and accumulating and accumulating. You want fat cells emptying its contents for your energy and filling back up through the day, and emptying the contents for your energy and filling back up. You want active fat cells. That's your body in a state of ketosis. Let me just scroll because I think, everybody, there was no questions or anything. It was like silent for a while. I'm like, I want to make sure that you guys still there? That's your body in a state of ketosis. So we haven't talked about food because I don't put food in my body in the morning. I put 32 ounces of green tea. Somebody asked me earlier, somebody said earlier on a post that I did, every time I drink green tea, I get so sick to my stomach on an empty stomach. You're burning the tea leaves probably. I learned this when I was in London for a little while and had a high tea. And I'm like, why does my green, this was years ago, why does my green tea make me so sick to my stomach and yours is delicious? And he said, the hot water is too hot. You're burning the tea leaves. It turns to acid and that makes you sick to your stomach. So you don't leave a tea bag of green tea in a thing. You leave it in there for enough time to seep, which is usually 2 to 3 minutes. It depends. Read the thing. And you don't want boiling water. So when I say if you're a tea drinker, turn on your kettle and then get outside for 10 minutes. Let the water from the kettle cool down a little bit. And then you add it to your tea. Does that make sense? So it's in times of deprivation that we utilize that fat for fuel. So I don't have anything in terms of sugar. There's no honey in my tea, nothing like that. I do a 12 to 16 hour fast. Usually a 16-hour fast is where I am. And it's great for our metabolism and great for healthy weight loss. Check out that Instagram live that I did with Cynthia Thurlow on intermittent fasting. It's also in my story highlight under live shows. So is your brand of green tea on Amazon store? Is it hot? Yes, I think I was able to read that. It's on Amazon. It's not, maybe it's not on my Amazon storefront. under nutrition. I don't think it is. But it's reishi. I would just make sure that you're aiming for organic, always organic. If you're drinking this much stuff and you've got a pesticide-laden tea bag you're sticking in that, that's not great for your health, right? So whenever you can, I've just fasted at least once a year for at least 25 years. Yeah, great, amazing. However it works for you. It does help with autophagy, which is that restructuring and utilization of damaged proteins and getting rid of all of those zombie cells, the senescent cells, those which cause oxidative stress, right? That's a big, I don't want to say cause, I wouldn't say cause. Very correlated with dementia and Alzheimer's, okay? So you want all that stuff to kind of clean out. Let's get on to exercise now. Now this is all, you guys, within, I'm talking about, we've only just done an hour. If I'm doing less than that, whatever skincare treatment I'm going to be doing that day, remember, it changes throughout the day because I get in a lot of different kind of skincare treatments: radio frequency, microcurrent, microneedling, red light therapy, dry brushing, chemical peels. It changes because I want to create that wave of collagen production. Good job, Christine. No butter in your coffee. Good job. I want to create that wave of collagen production, right? And different layers and levels of the skin. So whatever skincare treatment I am utilizing that day will be in my content room is in here, but I'll have that device next to my sink so that when I'm drinking my tea and after I've done my red light therapy and after I've done my hormones, I can get in a good 10 to 20 minutes of a device. Whether it's radio frequency to tighten the lower part of the skin, this kind of shock heats up the dermis to between 41 and 43 degrees Celsius, and that's collagen production. I like to use this on the lower part, but it might not be this. I might be doing microcurrent that day, which I kind of like to use on the upper part of my skin, or I could be microneedling. Whatever it is, it's not going to take me more than 20, 25 minutes. And that is usually done while I'm doing something else. If I'm catching up on the news, if I'm listening to a podcast, when I do these kind of treatments here at, on the live shows on Sundays, when I do these kind of treatments, I can spend an hour talking about it, but when I'm actually doing it, it's like 20 minutes. Red light therapy is like 10 minutes, Microcurrents, like you could do a 10-minute session in microcurrent once you get used to the device. So adding those little things in, those things do cost money, but I want to talk to you about something. When I first bought my first wrinkle cream, I was 15 years old. That's not because I was scared of wrinkles, it's because it just fascinated me and I made smart choices. I've worked since I was 15 years old. I worked bagging groceries. And I would, as a work treat, get myself a Diet Coke every day. Give me a pickup in the middle of the day, get a Diet Coke in the middle of the day. I realized that what the Diet Coke was actually costing me per week, right? So what was it costing me per week? And it added up to, I want to say, I think it was like $30 to $50 a month in Diet Coke. So I got off the Diet Coke and bought my first wrinkle cream. And ever since then, it's been like, what is the exchange rate? What's more important? And it's going to differ with everybody. It's going to differ with everybody. You may be somebody that says like, I can do the light in the eyes. I can do the waiting a little bit on the caffeine. I can try to take a cold plunge. Maybe I'll do a red light therapy device, or maybe I'll do another device, maybe not. But what I do for my clients is when I see what kind of skincare you're using, if you want to save money, make sure you're doing an active and it's treating your particular skincare. I can't tell you how many clients I've looked at their skincare because I'll have them line it all up and take a picture and go like, I'm going to save you so much money because moisturizer, 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 moisturizer. All of these are doing the same thing. Where's your active in the morning? Where's your active at night? Those are the things that are important. Those are the things you want to spend the money on. When you wash your face in the morning, so I'd wash, treat it with vitamin C, protect with sunscreen. Usually a tinted sunscreen, because that's going to give me an added bonus of not only the zinc oxide, it's going to give you the iron oxide with the tint. So I always like a tinted sunscreen on my face. especially if you've got melasma or any skin discoloration. It's going to protect your skin so much more. So what are you actually trying to treat? Save the money, be smart about it. Don't just like, oh, my friend swears by this skin cream. Your friend's skin is not your skin, and they might not be treating what you want to treat. Don't fall for it. We got to cut through the marketing shit. If I can save you money on that, maybe you will buy a red light therapy device that will also help you live longer, because it's not only for skincare, but it's decreasing inflammation. It's increasing circulation. Yeah, it's helping you look better. And we know that that is tied. Our skin is our largest organ. It's the one that's tied to our self-esteem because it's our only outward-facing organ. Not only does it say a lot about our inside health, but when we treat it, it helps our mood. You know, you ever walk down and you've got a big zit in the middle of your forehead? What does that do to your day? What does that do to your confidence when you're talking to somebody, right? Yes, I do. I do remember Lemaire. When you're putting your best skin forward, it changes what you do with the day. Just like when you know you're taking care of yourself, it changes what you do with that day. If you've just like done a cold plunge and you've got your morning light and you've taken your green tea and you've done your red light therapy, are you more likely to sit your butt on the couch and watch Netflix? Probably not. Right? Just like when your skin is looking great, you want to get out there in the world. You want to run into every ex-boyfriend you ever had, right? When you know you're doing stuff great for yourself, that's self-care, that's self-love. It changes what you do with your day. And you've got the same 24 hours that I do. You got the same 24 hours that I do. Okay, that's the food part of it, which is the lack of, right? The lack of the food. Somebody just said I need to invest in a red light panel. I have the Ultimate LED, the Biomax 900, I think. But after this, when I post this to my main feed, just comment red light and it'll send you a list of my top ones, different price points, okay? Because I want to make sure I don't just send you one. I'm going to send you options so that you can, Jove is good. I used to use Jove. They don't have quite as many bulbs in there, but again, it's still a good device and it's working. And it's a big company and they know what they're doing. So I give you some, don't put red light here, Kathy, though. After I post this to my main feed, which I'm going to do 5 minutes after I get off of here, I'm going to post this to my main feed. Do the comment there. When you comment there, then you'll get the red light DM. You'll get that DM that will give you all of those options, okay? Do you abstain from eating between the 2 meals? Here's the thing. She said, I'm not a stacker, but it's hard not to eat between 2 meals. If you're eating breakfast and you're having lunch and then your dinner isn't until 6 p.m., that's a long way to go between noon and 6 p.m. without eating anything, right? So what I do is I don't eat till like 1 or 2. And then it really bypasses that snack. And when I eat at 1 or 2, which I'm going to get to because we're not there yet, but it's very strategic in what I eat for that first meal. The first thing you do of anything sets the tone for the rest of the day. The first thing you do of anything, the first thing you do when you wake up, that self-care when you wake up, the light in the eyes, the green tea, the cold plunge, the grounding if you can, the breath work, the exhale breathing, all of that, the red light therapy, the skincare. This is the hormones. This is setting the tone. You see how in control of my day I am before I step out of the freaking door? Look at what I've done. Look at all the good stuff I've done. It makes it far less likely for you to do the bad shit later on. It just does. This is psychology. For those of you who don't know, I have a bachelor's and a master's in psychology, and I have a master's in gerontology as well, which is the science of aging. So that's what I do. I'm also a 500-hour yoga instructor, and I say that because we're getting to exercise next. If you can exercise within 1 to 2 to maybe at the most 3 hours after you've woken up, think about what that does. You're heating your core. Exercise heats your core. So what does that do? It solidifies that we're going to get sleepier earlier in the day. If you don't do your exercise within 1 to 3 hours after waking up, you've got another tiny little window. You know when you get that afternoon drag where most people will drink some coffee? Speaking of which, this isn't real coffee. It's mushroom coffee, but it's delicious. You know when you get that midday slump? You know what I'm talking about. That midday slump is an opportunity for you to exercise. It's an opportunity for you to exercise. But if you push your exercise way too far, like after work, you're going to start messing up your sleep cycle. Because remember, we want to cool down our core later on in the day. In the beginning of the day to midday, we want to heat that core up because that's how we are when we're awake. We want to heat that core up. If you get that slump midday, that's when I like to go on a walk. So I do my excuse me, I just had a little, sorry. When you do that morning exercise, you're heating up your core. And the way that you exercise needs to change. So I just had a client the other day said, I can't understand why I'm not losing weight. I'm on the treadmill for an hour a day. And my response was, get off of the treadmill. No, you're a midlife woman. Lift some weights. You're going to lose muscle mass. You don't want to just burn off your cardio, burn, high cardio. The way you exercise needs to change as you age. You want weight-bearing exercise. You want to lift weights. I love working out on a vibration plate because a vibration plate keeps you off kilter. And think of it like, you know, those whirly things at a fair where you'd stick to the edge. Did you guys ever have one of those when you were younger, where you went to a fair and you were like stuck to the edge and it did this tilt-a-whirl, I think it was called. A vibration plate works very similarly to that in that it creates this kind of, I know, I'm ridiculous. If you can't laugh at yourself, I mean, it takes the stress out of what I do here when I'm just talking, you know, for an hour about certain subjects. I'm going to mess up. My tongue is going to get twisted. There's going to be mistakes made. Who cares? Right? It's all going to work out. I love working out on a vibration plate because it creates that kind of torque, the sticky wall. Yeah. And it's sticky. It makes it sticky on your feet when you're working out on the vibration or if you're laying on it. And what that does is it actually increases your gravitational pull. Think about this for a second. If we need to increase weight-bearing exercises as we age because we lose muscle mass and our bone density needs weight-bearing exercises to be strong, by simply stepping on a vibration plate while you're working out, you're creating more of a gravitational pull. You're increasing your weight-bearing exercise even before you pick up weights. Does that make sense, everybody? So working out on a vibration plate with like little weights, like that is great, but getting some sort of weight-bearing exercise, not the cardio that you would think, but the weight-bearing exercise, that is what's going to keep you, I don't want to say younger longer because it's not, but it's going to keep you functioning longer. It's going to keep you functioning long. Aim for strong, people, not skinny. Skinny's out. You do not want to be too skinny in midlife. You need reserves. Right? You've seen frail older people. You want muscle mass. You want muscle mass. And so you want to increase muscle mass. And basically when you're doing weight-bearing exercises with old age, weight-bearing exercises plus increasing the range of motion, like to be able to stretch, making sure that all of your body parts are able to move. You can not everybody can touch your toes, but if you should be able to, with practice, no matter what your age is, be able to increase that flexibility. It doesn't mean that it has to be the same as your neighbor. It doesn't have to be the same as me, but you got to work on flexibility because that decreases as we age right along with muscle mass. So what happens as we age? Our muscle mass decreases. Our flexibility decreases, our balance decreases, and our mobility decreases and leaves us so much more susceptible to falls and fractures. So what do? You gotta lift weights or do weight-bearing exercises. Stop doing so much cardio. You're gonna burn through your muscle. Don't do it. You gotta lift weights, okay? It doesn't mean that they have to be like the Olympic style. If you had a set set, sorry, just went off on a tangent, everybody. If you had a set of like 5, 3, and 2 pound weights, you don't need much more than that. Now I'm saying you don't need much more than that. I lift way heavier than that, but these are in my room at any time because at any given day, if I feel like I can't get to the gym, I'm gonna go in here and do a set of like a bunch of sets of weightlifting because you don't wanna lose your muscle mass. You just don't. So it's weight-bearing exercises plus the range and motion is what keeps us mobile as we're getting older. That equals mobility, okay? But what if you're trying to stave off osteoporosis? Shouldn't you be lifting heavy? It's not about lifting heavy. Yes, okay, of course, yeah. If you can lift heavy, lift heavy. Don't go out and kill yourself to the point where you're gonna hurt yourself, but you wanna do weight-bearing exercises. It doesn't have to be super heavy. It's about, you could do, if I did 20 reps or 25 reps of a dumbbell curl with a 5 pound weight, I'm gonna feel it, right? You don't need much more than this. If you want, you can, but you can increase the reps. So if I had a 25 pounder, I'm not gonna be doing 20 reps, right? If I had a 25 pounder, I'd be lucky if I can get it up. I'd support it. I'd make sure I'm isolated. I'd make sure I'm safe. And I'd aim for like 5 to 10 reps, maybe. With a 20 pounder, I think I could do 5 to 10 reps with a 20 pounder. But you see how you just change. It's all about tearing the muscle fiber. There's lots of different ways to tear the muscle fiber. When you tear that muscle fiber, it takes 3 to 5 days to build that back up. That's calories. That's calories that it takes to build, to repair that. You step on a treadmill and you're just going like a little mouse on a treadmill. You get off, you eat a bagel. Guess what? You've just put that all back. And yeah, your heart rate might be up for a little bit. That's true. You could have an increased heart rate, which will burn calories for more, but not 3 to 5 days more that it takes when you're lifting weights and you're tearing that muscle fiber. That's what you need to do. It's not about adding time. It's about being smart about it. Work out not harder, but work out smarter for your age. If you're midlife, you gotta do weightlifting. Not weightlifting. You have to do weight-bearing exercise. You gotta work on the flexibility. You gotta work on the balance. And one of the things that I do as I'm brushing my teeth, so talk about like always multitasking with self-care. That's how you get it all in. When I brush, try this at home, okay? Excuse my pajamas. Try this at home. When you're brushing your teeth, stand on one leg and brush. Why? Because we got to work on our balance. This is working core strength, right? My leg's just up like this. Brush your teeth. If you can associate a self-care tactic with a daily activity that's necessary, like teeth brushing, it's just gonna become part of your life, right? The object of the whole reason for this live show today was to show people that it doesn't take extra time. It doesn't take extra money. It takes knowledge, it takes willpower, it takes a plan, right? It takes a plan. But that whole working out at night it's just, there's so many different roadblocks that could happen between the time that you wake up and the time that you go to sleep that could sabotage a planned workout later on in the day. Do it in the morning. If you can, do it in the morning. And that doesn't mean you have to necessarily go to the gym. There's so many free online classes now, you guys. There's so many free online classes. You don't have to spend $200 at a gym. Now, do I go to a gym? I do, because my best friend goes there, so I'm getting that social connectivity as well when I go to the gym. But I always work out at home. I'm just still in the middle of trying to clear out the garage from this move to be able to build a gym. But in the meantime, I'm going to workout classes. It's not the same kind of workout that I'm used to, but I'm doing all weight-bearing exercises and yoga, which helps with flexibility, and a lot of balance stuff, right? Should you do weights every day? You could do weights every day, you just wouldn't want to do the same body part every day. So you wouldn't want to just you're doing bicep curls every single day. You need to be able to have that heel maybe 3 times a week, half an hour. I'm doing 5 times a week sports. Great, fantastic. You can go on YouTube and you can get free workouts. Exactly. Okay, so this whole thing of, gosh, I wish I had the time and I wish I had the money. I have the same 24 hours that you do. What choices are you making? What choices are you making? Be smart about it, okay? My healthy aging self-care is less than 1 hour in the morning. Less than an hour. If I'm going out to the gym, it's wake up, get outside for light exposure, take off my shoes if I want to ground. I'll talk more about that later. Cold plunge, green tea, 10 minutes of red light therapy, hormones, gym clothes, out the door, less than an hour. And look at all that self-care I just got in, right? And I'm brushing my teeth on one foot, so I'm working on some balance. It's a lot. From the time you wake up until you get out the door, what is your get ready time? You can put it in the comment. How long does it take you to get out the door? Doing your normal thing of drinking your coffee or reading the paper or, you know, whatever it is that you do. Because I'm less than an hour and I've got light in my eyes. I've detoxed, you know, anti-cancer, polyphenols, all of that with the green tea. I've solidified my sleep-wake cycle with not only the light, but a cold plunge. I've boosted my metabolism. I've decreased inflammation, not only with the cold plunge, but the red light therapy. I've helped my skin. I've done a little bit of skincare treatment. I'm covered in skincare, all within an hour. And I get my ass to the gym. And if I can't get to the gym, I don't know if you can see this, but I've got like just a tuft bench over here. So it's about this, it's probably about waist high. And, you know, push-ups on a bench. Get here on the ground, do some sit-ups, do some planks, a 2-minute plank. On days that I don't go to the gym, you don't need to go to the gym every single day in order to be healthy. There's lots of stuff that you can do at home that's free. Just try to do it in the morning, because remember, we want to heat that core. We want to heat the core in the morning. We don't want it to affect us later on that day. Okay, so the question is, how can you incorporate some of these healthy aging hacks, right? Make those light. So you got to figure out what to do. You got to figure it out. And I'm going to tell you right now, you guys, for the month of April, for the whole month of April, there goes my tongue twisting again. For the whole month of April, my one-on-one consultation, I'm slashing in half. There's no code, there's no nothing. It's just half price. And the reason is I'm not going to be doing the big printable protocols that I do for everybody when my one-on-one clients for this month only, because it's my birthday month. And I'm going to be doing this 12-week healthy aging course that I'm developing. So it's a lot of work on my part. I'm going to be doing my 1-hour one-on-one consultations for half price. And I will give you the recorded Zoom session afterwards. So you just DM me the word consult or coaching. I think it is coaching. I think it's coaching. And you'll get the calendar link, and you can make your appointment for way later, but I want to be able to get in there and save you guys some money. And I know it costs money, but it's half my normal price, and I'm doing that for this reason. How can you, in your life, let me see what's going on. What's going on in your life? How do you wake up? What happens before you leave the house? What happens at night, right? All of that stuff I want to see. And you have to make these priorities, right? You have the same 24 hours. We have the same options. Like if you decided, listen, this is not me. This is not me. But if you decide I can't go without my Starbucks coffee 5 days a week. If I'm going to go to work, I need my little treat of the Starbucks coffee. Starbucks Venti Latte is $5. A tall is $3 and the grande is $4. I had to look that up because I have not ordered Starbucks in, I don't know, 20 years, something like that. I know, I don't know why, but why? Why? If you think about that, you got to be accountable. Like I said, when I bought my first wrinkle cream, I was 15 years old. I worked in Holly's grocery store. No, my first job, actually, I was cold calling for the phone book, which was awful. But when I did buy my first wrinkle cream, I was 15 years old, and it was that whole, what are you going to give up to get something else, right? So the amount that I was spending on that work treat, was doing nothing for my health and was costing me, I just found it was $7.50 a week times 4 was $30. That's how much the Estee Lauder cream was that I wanted. And that's what I did. I gave up Diet Coke. Give up something. If you feel like, gosh, I wish I had the money. How much are you spending getting coffee out or ordering a cocktail out? How much money are you spending doing that versus buying a red light therapy machine? Everybody has the same. Organization is very important. It's a mindset. It is a mindset. You got to do the math, right? Be accountable for where your priorities are, because, you know, if you're treating yourself to that coffee 20 times a month, that's 5 days a week, 20 times a month, you're spending over $100 a month on coffee out. Do the math. Stop pointing at everybody else around you saying, if I only had the time, if I only had the money. Be accountable for yourself. What are you doing for your health? You only get one shot at this, you guys. You don't get a second body. You don't get a second round of time. You get one shot of it. And if you haven't done anything for your health, you can start right now. Literally, right now. What you do right now today affects how you age, how much pain you're going to be in, how long you're going to be on the planet. What is your health span, those number of years without age-related diseases? Does that match your lifespan? Or are you on this downward trajectory of declining health when you get older? What you do now, no matter what your age is, if you're 20 on here or if you're 70 on here, what you do now affects how you age. Make these habits, figure out a way to make the habits. And that's why I'm giving you my coaching sessions for half off for the whole month of April. You don't have to actually have the course in April, the class in April with me, or the coaching session in April. You can just book it in April and you'll get the half off, because let me help you design a way to incorporate these healthy lifestyle hacks that doesn't cost you any more money. Or at least you're using your money wisely, right? Stop buying moisturizers. It makes your skin cells lazy. That's what Dr. Obaji taught me. It makes your skin cells lazy. You should have 3 actives in there for every moisturizer. Okay. And then the lunch. So stop pointing at everybody, you know, she must do self-care all day long. No, I'm smart about it and very efficient. And I get it done. And you can too. That's the point. You can too. You got to figure it out. How do you get these steps in? The light in the eyes, the delaying the caffeine, the cold plunge, the red light therapy, skincare that's effective, balancing. How do you get these things? The exercise. How do you get them in a very short period of time? You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. My lunch for me is between 1 and 2. And when I have my lunch, you have a choice too. What is your normal lunch? I have a normal lunch. And this is what I was talking about. I've learned to stop buying so many moisturizers. This is what I'm talking about. The first choice you have is often the most important because it sets the tone. My first choice of food is always, how many vegetables can I get in my body at one time? That's my choice. It's usually a stir fry, so multiple broccoli, asparagus, carrots, anything I can get like in a stir fry, which I did a live show on stir fry. To me, that is like the way that I know, wow, I'm going to get a lot of variety in, a lot of fiber in. I don't even think about protein because we are in the middle of a high protein diet fad. Think about fiber and getting as many vegetables as you can in. I'll talk about my nighttime stuff because I do eat meat. I'm not vegan, but I'm very strategic about it. I microdose my meat. I make sure I know where my meat is coming from, because all of these things matter. But my lunch is between 1 and 2 p.m. As many vegetables as I can. It's usually soups, like vegetable soups, or stir fries. Those are my main go-to. It doesn't mean that I don't eat other stuff. But I don't eat a lot of fruit, but I don't avoid fruit, because fruit is a real food. So when I get snacky, or if I get like, a little snacky, first of all, I'll take a Crave Control, which is my one of my products that I have that stop the cravings. But also I'll do like a glass of Fiberline, which helps to kind of, stave off those cravings and creates that mesh in your belly so that when you do have stuff that's fruit that has like a higher sugar content, it mitigates the way that glucose goes through those small intestines and into your bloodstream. Oh, great. Somebody just booked a coaching call. Thank you, Melisinko. I don't know how you say that, but thank you. Listen, you think you learned a lot here? Wait till I get you one-on-one. I'm telling you, it is my joy. It is literally my joy to change the health trajectory of a client. When I know that when they get done working with me, they're on a trajectory that's going to change not only how long they're on the planet, but how healthy they are while they're on the planet, and they're going to look better too. That's my joy. That's my joy. So here's the thing. At the end of the day, it comes down to daily choices, right? We all have the same 24 hours. And I really just wanted to show you how to incorporate this self-care on a daily basis. It doesn't break the bank and doesn't make you have to go get a second job. And doesn't cut in time with your family either, right? So, but here's the main thing. When you make these promises to yourself, I'm going to go get morning light tomorrow. Keep the promises to yourself. Keep your promises to yourself. If you say you're going to get to bed early and get outside, get to bed early and get outside, right? If you tell yourself the night before, I'm going to work out tomorrow, don't break that promise to yourself. Set that intention and keep it. I don't care what you have to do. If you have to lay out your gym clothes the night before so that you feel stupid when you walk past them and you don't put them on, do it. That's how I started. When I did do it for you, that's right, because nobody else is going to do it for you, Brandon. Nobody else is going to do it for you. You have to build trust in yourself. Focus on keeping your own word for yourself, for your self-care, right? Don't let yourself down. There's plenty of other people in this world that are going to let yourself down. Don't let yourself down. You make a promise about something, you set an intention about something, keep it. You're always going to be the one that needs to push yourself. Now, listen, every time I get into a cold plunge, you don't think I have to push myself? I have to listen to the Rockies theme song. That's how much I have to get my head in the game to push myself to do that. But it's better for me. And so don't break those promises. Nobody's going to be, I'm not going to be standing on your shoulder going, did you get your morning light? Are you delaying your caffeine? Did you cold plunge? You are the one that's accountable for that. You have to do it. Don't give yourself the out, right? There's a lot of people, I use this analogy a lot of times, a lot of people who drink alcohol. And I used to be a drinker. You guys, I don't drink alcohol anymore. Gave it up about 1.5 years ago. Not like never, but like I'll have a little sip if it's somebody's cheersing something. But I don't really, that's not a part of my life anymore. And when I was, you know, the person that would have a couple glasses of wine while I was cooking or whatever, I'd be like, I had a hard day. I deserve this. I'm gonna have a glass of wine. Like, oh man, this person is like so, you give yourself the excuse for bad behavior, right? Don't give yourself the excuse for bad behavior. If you had a bad day at work and every time you had a bad day at work, you had to come home and eat a raw stalk of celery until you felt better, you'd feel better much quicker, right? You'd feel better much quicker psychologically if every bad day you had to eat a whole stalk of celery until you felt better. Just keep pounding that celery down, as opposed to, I had a bad day at work, I'm gonna come back and have a glass of wine. Change that glass of wine into something that's good for you, because wine isn't. Sorry, that's not the latest research coming out. There's no amount of alcohol that's really good for you. Those studies were kind of skewed because people that could drink wine every day, that's a different socioeconomic class. Very confounding variables there. There's really not, and I'll do a whole live show on alcohol. But you got to keep that word to yourself, right? You're the one that needs to push yourself. And you wouldn't accept it. If somebody else continued to make promises to you and didn't keep them, you'd be like, I don't want to be around that person. Don't make promises to yourself that you don't keep. Nobody's coming to do it for you. It's up to you. So you can DM me the word coaching. My prices have been slashed in half. No code necessary. If you book in April, You can even book it for March or December. It doesn't even matter. Book it for in the future. My April's very busy because I'm coming up with this course, but still, it's fine. If you want to do it in April, if there's space on my calendar, then do it in April. But I will give you the recorded live, the recorded Zoom that we do, because I don't want, yeah, alcohol is very bad for your health. I don't want, we're tricked into that. That's marketing. There's a lot of marketing around alcohol, which we can talk about on a whole other live show. Okay, so that's it. That kind of brings me up to lunch, right? Getting all the vegetables that I can. And then after lunch, I do my supplements, but I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to see you guys tomorrow because I've gone way over on the second part of self-care. I get a lot of it in the morning, a lot of my self-care in the morning, and then through lunch. Darnell, you're so right. Dries out, kills brain cells, bad for your skin, dries up kidneys. There's a lot of stuff with alcohol. Yeah, it's pure marketing. It's true. Okay, so I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. I know it's Easter tomorrow, but I'm still going to get on here. I'm going to go to an Easter service. For those of you who saw my last live, you know that things happen for a reason. This church just happens to be put in front of me. I'm not a religious person, but so I'm going to be going to a Sunday service, and I'll be back here at 12, and we'll talk about the second half of the day, right? Because we just went all the way to lunch. So tomorrow we'll talk about the second half of the day. Okay, that's it. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. I know it was a lot. I'm going to post it to my feed right now. I really want to do this for it. Okay, I'm going to post this to my feed right now, and so you guys can do all your comments and get all your protocols. You've got the gadget protocol, just DM me protocol. The skincare, you can just DM me skincare. Red light, I'll give you the options for that. Just DM me red light. And if you want the coaching half off, just DM me coaching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 12. Okay, have a great rest of your day.